Have you ever woken up feeling like you haven't slept at all? That deep, bone-weary fatigue that a cup of coffee just can't seem to touch. It's a quiet struggle for so many of us. This feeling of running on empty. It steals our focus, drains our joy, and makes the day ahead feel like a mountain to climb. We often chalk it up to just getting older, a natural loss of vitality we simply have to accept. But what if that isn't the whole truth? What if this persistent drain on your energy, this fog that clouds your active mind, is being caused by something you do every single night, something you might not even realize is a problem? That very issue is the silent thief of restorative sleep for millions. I'm talking about waking up, night after night, to make that trip to the bathroom. It seems so minor, but those interruptions are like little earthquakes shaking the foundations of your well-being. But here's the promise I want to make you today. There are simple, powerful, and safe solutions that don't involve pills or complicated procedures. These are small changes that can give you back your nights. So if you've been feeling that drain on your energy and your quality of life, stick with me for a little while. This might just change everything for you. So many people I talk to, friends and patients alike, have resigned themselves to this reality. They say, well, I'm over 60. It's just what happens. I understand why they feel that way, but I'm here to gently challenge that idea. While waking up to urinate, a condition we call nocturia, is incredibly common among seniors, it doesn't have to be your normal. Think of it not as a life sentence of aging, but as a signal from your body. It's a sign that something in your daily rhythm is a little off balance, and the beautiful part is, you have the power to restore that balance and champion your own healthy aging. The consequences of this nightly disruption go far deeper than just feeling tired. Each time you're pulled from your sleep, you're creating a domino effect that impacts your overall health. Medical research is very clear on this. Fragmented sleep is directly linked to a higher risk of nighttime falls, which is a major concern for maintaining independence. It also affects our cognitive function, that frustrating brain fog and memory lapse, and can even contribute to feelings of depression. Your happiness and longevity are intrinsically tied to the quality of your sleep. It's the foundation of all well-being. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain during a good night's rest. When you sleep, your body enters these incredibly important deep stages, especially REM sleep. You can think of this as your body's dedicated overnight repair crew. This is when the magic happens. Your memories from the day are sorted and stored, your cells are repaired, and your hormones are reset. When that crew is constantly being interrupted by a bathroom alarm, the crucial work doesn't get finished. You're not just waking up tired. You're depriving your body of its essential healing and regeneration process. Now, after all that, I want to share the truly good news, the part that should fill you with hope. In the vast majority of cases, this frustrating cycle of nocturia isn't caused by some complex, underlying medical issue. It's most often a direct result of a few specific, everyday habits. Through decades of research in sleep medicine and urology, we've identified 5 key behaviors that, when corrected, can dramatically reduce or even completely eliminate the need to wake up at night. These are changes that put the control for your quality of life right back in your hands. Let's start with the first habit, and it's one that might sound obvious at first, but has a surprising layer of complexity. It's all about what and when you drink in the hours before bed. Most people know not to chug a big glass of water right before turning in, but the real culprits are often the hidden liquids we consume without a second thought. This little-known fact is a game-changer for so many seniors who are trying to improve their sleep and overall health. It's a simple adjustment that can lead to profound results in your journey toward healthy aging. What do I mean by hidden liquids? I'm talking about that comforting bowl of soup you had for dinner, that relaxing cup of chamomile tea you sip while reading, or even a juicy piece of watermelon for dessert. These things seem harmless, even healthy, but your kidneys don't make that distinction. When you consume these things in the 3 hours before you lie down, you're essentially giving your kidneys a late-night work assignment, forcing them to process fluids right when they should be powering down for the night, disrupting a key process for your well-being. Let me tell you about a wonderful lady named Margaret, a 72-year-old from Phoenix I had the pleasure of knowing. For years, she was waking up 4, sometimes 5 times a night. She was at her wit's end, feeling like a prisoner of her own bladder. Her sleep was destroyed, and her energy for her grandchildren was gone. She had tried everything she could think of, from restricting her water intake to even considering medication. Her quality of life was suffering immensely, and she was losing hope that she could ever regain her independence at night. Margaret's breakthrough came when we sat down and looked at her whole evening routine. That's when we discovered her 2 healthy habits: a bowl of chicken noodle soup with dinner every night, and a big mug of chamomile tea right before bed. She couldn't believe it. These were her comfort rituals. But once she made the decision to shift her soup to lunchtime and have her tea in the late afternoon, the change was astonishing. In just 2 weeks, she went from 5 nightly trips to just 1. She felt like she had gotten her life back. There's some fascinating science behind why this works. So well, your body produces a wonderful hormone called vasopressin at night. You can think of it as your body's natural sleep signal for your bladder. Its job is to tell your kidneys to slow down urine production and to make the urine you do have more concentrated. When you stop overloading your system with fluids before bed, you allow your body to produce and use vasopressin effectively. This means you don't just urinate less, you also achieve deeper, more restorative sleep for better health. So how can you put this into practice in a sustainable way? It's simple. Set a liquid curfew for yourself, ideally 3 hours before your usual bedtime. If you go to sleep at 10 p.m., make 7 p.m. your cutoff time for all liquids. This includes water, juices, teas, soups, and even those high water content fruits. If you need to take medication, use only the smallest sip of water necessary. This simple, healthy habit can be one of the most powerful tools you have for improving your sleep and boosting your daytime vitality. Now, let's move on to our second habit, which is intimately connected to the first. This is a mistake that I see about 85% of older adults making without ever realizing they're sabotaging their own sleep. It's all about when you eat your dinner, and, just as importantly, what you eat. The timing of your meals and the specific foods you choose in the evening have a direct and powerful impact on how often your bladder wakes you up overnight. This is a cornerstone of using nutrition for healthy aging and better quality of life. Certain foods, many of which are very healthy, contain natural diuretic compounds. This means they actively encourage your body to produce more urine. Foods like tomatoes, cucumbers, celery, asparagus, parsley, and even dark chocolate fall into this category. The same goes for beverages like coffee, green tea, and alcohol. When you consume these in the afternoon or evening, you're essentially setting a timer for your bladder to go off in the middle of the night, disrupting that precious deep sleep. Here's what's happening inside your body. Your digestive system needs a good 3 to 4 hours to fully process a meal. When you eat a heavy meal too close to bedtime and then lie down, your digestion slows. This means those diuretic compounds from your food hang around in your system for longer, prolonging their effect on your kidneys. Additionally, many processed foods are high in sodium, which causes your body to retain water during the day and then release it all at night, precisely when you want to be sleeping. By the way, if any of this is clicking for you and making sense, do me a small favor and give this video a quick like. It truly helps more people find this information and start their journey to better well-being and a more active mind. It's a small click for you, but it makes a huge difference in helping our community grow and thrive. Your support encourages me to keep sharing these insights for a happier, healthier life. Let me tell you about another friend, Robert, a 68-year-old retiree from Florida. Robert was a true night owl when it came to eating. He'd have his dinner around 8:30 p.m. and often a snack an hour later, usually involving fresh tomatoes and cucumbers from his garden, washed down with green tea. He told me, "I woke up like clockwork at 1 a.m., 3:30 a.m., and 5:30 a.m. I just thought it was my age, but I felt like a zombie during the day." His story is a perfect example of how our nutrition habits directly impact our quality of life. Robert's transformation was just as remarkable as Margaret's. We worked together to adjust his meal schedule. He started having his main meal around 6 p.m. and made a rule to avoid those diuretic foods after 4 p.m. The change wasn't just gradual, it was radical. In just 10 days, he was only waking up once. After 3 weeks, he was regularly sleeping for 6 continuous hours without any interruptions. He told me he felt 10 years younger, and his energy for his morning walks had skyrocketed, a true testament to the power of healthy habits. So, how can you implement this strategy? It's all about timing. Make it a rule to have your last substantial meal at least 4 hours before you plan to go to sleep. Try creating a list of sleep-friendly foods for the evening, things like lean proteins, sweet potatoes, bananas, and broccoli, and keep a mental list of the nighttime enemies, which are all those diuretic foods we mentioned. This isn't about deprivation. It's about smart nutrition timing to support your body's natural rhythms and enhance your independence. Now for our third habit, and this one is fascinating because it's something people do with the best of intentions. In fact, it might even seem like a smart strategy. I'm talking about the habit of using the bathroom just in case, right before you climb into bed. It feels like you're being proactive, right? Emptying the tank to be safe. But what you're actually doing is training your bladder to be weak and overly sensitive, trapping yourself in that very cycle of nocturia you're trying to avoid. Think of your bladder as a muscle, an extremely adaptable one. It learns from your repetitive behaviors. A healthy adult bladder can comfortably hold a significant amount of urine, between 300 to 500 milliliters, before it sends a strong signal to your brain. But when you constantly empty it prematurely, before it's even close to being full, you're teaching it that it doesn't need to stretch or hold much at all. You're effectively reducing its functional capacity, which is detrimental to your long-term well-being. I remember a lovely 74-year-old widow from Seattle named Dorothy. She had developed what she called her safety ritual. Every single night, whether she felt the urge or not, she would go to the bathroom just to be safe. She thought she was being smart, but she had inadvertently created a monster. She would wake up just 2 hours later with an urgent sensation, but when she went, there was hardly any urine. She had trained her body to function at a reduced capacity, sabotaging her own quest for quality of life and restful sleep. The solution for Dorothy was a technique called bladder retraining, and it's simpler than it sounds. It starts by breaking that just-in-case habit. The new rule is to only use the bathroom before bed if you feel a clear, unequivocal need. If you don't feel a real urge, but you're feeling anxious about it, try distracting yourself with a relaxing activity for 15 minutes, like reading. You'll often find the anxious feeling fades. This is about restoring your body's natural signals and regaining control, a key part of maintaining your independence. If you have made it this far into our conversation, it tells me something truly wonderful about you. It shows that you haven't given up, that you refuse to accept a lower quality of life as inevitable. It tells me you still care deeply about your health, your energy, and your precious independence. You believe in the power of healthy aging, and you're willing to learn and make changes. That spirit is the most powerful tool you have for creating a vibrant and fulfilling life at any age. It truly fills me with joy and hope. So I invite you to start small. Don't feel like you have to change everything overnight. Just pick one of these habits, maybe the one that resonated with you the most, and decide to try it tomorrow. Maybe you'll set a liquid curfew, or perhaps you'll try having your dinner a little earlier. The journey to well-being is built one small, consistent step at a time. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? I love seeing our community from all around the world. And before you go, please make sure you subscribe and click that little notification bell. That way, you won't miss our next chat on how to keep your mind sharp, your body strong, and your spirit wonderfully independent.